Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, not Wednesday, and welcome to this week's episode of Recap. Sorry about the 24-hour delay on things. It'll make sense here in a little bit, but absolute pleasure to see you guys here in the chat. Always good to chalk it up with you guys. Sorry, I got distracted by Best of AZ's. Ben, we're going to the World Series comment. Yes, you are. Snakes alive, baby. Mr. Dirty 130 in the house. What's going on? JM1620. What's up? Shauna SFC. Sneaker Dad 559. Oh, now all the comments are coming in. Holy hell. David Kearns, what's going on, buddy? And we got football later. So we'll talk more about that toward the end of the show. But because of the fact that the game is on Amazon Prime, Austin and I, him being a Bills fan, me being a Buccaneers fan, we're going to do a quick jersey hat switch and then do a live chat during the game after this week's show. So pleasure all around. But without further ado, sorry, I stumbled words on that one. What is going on, Bree?
Hi, what's up?
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Chat.
We got the spooky font in here as well. You know, it's Halloween, and so you got to up the production value a little bit.
Oh, sick.
How's your week been?
It's been busy, but good. Busy, but good.
You did some big stuff today, didn't you?
Yeah.
What happened?
I did.
Can you share that with us or not yet?
No, no, it's totally fine. I'm like, should I? I hosted / moderated a panel at Nike HQ on Tuesday. So I got to talk to some really dope execs at Nike, at Dove. Basically got to talk with Venus Williams and
Awesome.
Lori Hernandez, who was on like the Olympic team with Simone Biles. She's like a really dope gymnast. It was nerve-wracking. It was fun. But after Venus said I did a really great job, so that was all the validation I needed.
Awesome.
But yeah, it was cool. It was a very important conversation about girls in sport, women in sport, and how we keep them in sport. Because 45% of girls drop out by adolescence compared to boys. So yeah, Nike and Dove are basically joining forces to put a stop to that. But yeah, I was happy to kind of be the linchpin of that whole conversation and lead us from point A to point B.
Bree, just always doing bigger and better things. I love it for you.
Thank you. Absolutely. Yeah, and then we watched the NBA. So.
Yeah. And sorry, because we talked about this last week in regard to the New York Liberty. Hell of a game, regardless.
Yo.
But how do you not make a basket with 25 seconds left on the clock?
I can't. First of all, not putting the blame on her, but I think Stewart should have took that. I think she chickened out and threw that corner pass, expecting what's her face to knock it down. But she was closer. That would have been an easy bucket. But oh well.
I know. I was kind of hoping Sabrina was going to do it on account of the fact that she was having kind of her Jordan flu moment, puking in a trash can during that timeout and then getting back on the court. Shout out to Sabrina on that one. So loved it.
Yeah. That was good. But honestly, Aces is a better team. And I mean, I think it's very telling because it's like they lost their point guard. Candace wasn't even involved this season and they still did what they did. 2 years in a row, to say the least.
So I got to ask this question because I feel like it's coming soon and it could have happened earlier than we're talking right now. Becky Hammond and future NBA coach. When do you think it's going to happen?
I could see we're about to be in 2024. I say 2026.
Okay.
I could see that.
Do you think Spurs, do you think she'll be the successor to Greg Popovich, especially because of the fact that she was under him for so many years?
That could be. That definitely could be.
Because the Portland Trailblazers had an opportunity before they hired Chauncey Billups and they blew it. So
that'd be a really dope, like, full circle moment too.
Yeah. I think so too.
I'd like to see that.
And I wouldn't be surprised she wins a title. Like fast.
But I don't know. I mean, she's the highest paid women's coach now. So
for a good reason. Back-to-back champ.
For a good reason. And I think because of what happened, there's been a lot of talk because Asia's like a Nike athlete without a shoe. So there's been a lot of like complaints on where's Asia's shoe at, because like if you look at what she's done so far, it's like outweighs many WNBA athletes. So I think Well, I was at Nike on Tuesday. I think she's got a shoe coming. She's got meetings. I can tell you that. So I think she's
good.
Rightfully so, though.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Probably should have won the MVP as well, but you know what? Hey, championships is where it's at, not necessarily individual accomplishments.
Yeah.
Love it. Let's bring Austin in. What is up, dude?
What up, y'all?
Hi.
How's everybody doing? Bree, way to kill it. Way to kill it at Nike HQ. Very proud.
Thank you.
Very proud. What a cool moment.
I got great practice right here.
Yeah, hell yeah. Love that. Love that. Yeah, very cool. And Venus gave you props, you said, right?
Yeah, we took wait, hold on.
Did you take a picture?
Wait. Yeah, we took a picture together. Okay,
oh, hell yeah. Let's see it.
Okay, I don't know if you guys can see. Wait, how do I hold on? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
How did that not get posted to the gram? You shitting me right now?
No, I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for the high quality pics.
Oh, okay. You're waiting for the photographer. Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. Hell yeah. Good for you. Good for you. Love to see that. Well, now we're back to not as important things. Hats.
No, we got some big drops this week.
Yes, we do. We got some very good drops this week.
Give me 5 seconds. Hold on. Come on. All right, cool.
I don't know what's happening.
I'll explain what that was all about here in 1 second. So site sleepers, of course.
Oh.
And to highlight everything, up at the top is the World Series hats for the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Texas Rangers. The reason why I needed 5 more seconds is because I just completed my order for the alternate Arizona Diamondbacks and the two-tone Texas Rangers World Series hats. Oh,
nice. Good
and got to get rid of that. How are you guys feeling about the World Series matchup?
I'm saying go Snakes.
All right. Bree, how are you at?
I will lean that way because I saw Go Snakes in the comments when we went live. So that's where I stand.
I think I covered this enough on Flip the Script yesterday, where I took the WWE Triple H and Stephanie McMahon approach, where the Diamondbacks win the World Series, it's best for business. Which Arizona-based company, I 100% agree with that this time around. So,
about damn time you support the company, Ben.
What's that?
I said it's about damn time you support the company.
I'm trying, man.
You're not a team player otherwise.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I give enough of my money, my paycheck back into this company. I guess I support the local team. One thing I should point out is a lot of people caught on to this specific hat, the Toronto Blue Jays, which is, yes, a quote unquote lost Rushmore hat. So shout out to you guys if you're able to scoop it up.
Yep. Quick drop on that one. Very
quick drop on that. I thought it was going to drop tomorrow, but my bad. So it's going to be in the photos that I show off for what's dropping on Friday. This particular what?
I said you're wrong.
I am wrong. Yes. 100%. This particular Giants hat, the script, this is one of the hats that we dropped at the Battle of the Brims event in San Francisco. But this Chicago White Sox is brand new. I'm probably going to have to buy that. God damn it. I should have had it added to my invoice. Corduroy.
Is it optic white?
Let's find out. It looks, I don't know. It looks off-white.
What's the color say?
Looks off-white.
Come on. I don't know why it's scrolling. There we go. It says white crown, but I look at the zoom in style. Actually, I think it is white, optic white.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Either way, I've got a jersey or two that can match with it.
Kobe, not Kobe. AZ's or Wilder's AZ pack will not be making a return. Might be on to some new things. So if you need to go cop that Lakeland Tigers, I suggest you do it in the aftermarket.
Do it. Very unique colorway for a Seattle Mariners City Connect. Might have to think about getting that one as well. And then, like I was saying a second ago, corduroy crown and upper visor, red under visor, New York Yankees with the 96 World Series patch.
Very nice.
Forgot about this one as well. So this is part 4 of one of our Oakland series packs that we put together. I can't talk about this one publicly as far as what the deal with it is, but I like black and red.
Love it.
I need to get it. And then, of course, the hat I'm wearing is now available on the website. This, of course, dropped at the Supermart event. This is a part 1 of 2 hat. Part 2 is actually going to be dropping on Friday. I'll talk about that here in a second.
Ooh.
And nice. Trying to think of the PC way of saying this.
I don't know.
It's a good colorway for this White Sox hat. We'll put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm assuming there's a reason behind it. I don't know. And then of course the contrast stitch hats that we dropped this last week. Two of them sold out. One of them sold out.
I think a couple. I don't see the Dodgers there, and
Dodgers sold out. Thank you.
I think there's one other one that's missing.
I agree with that. Dang it! What was the other one?
Kobe, not Kobe. I like your comment.
Yeah, there were 6 of them total. Shoot, I don't know why I can't remember what the other one was. Anyway.
Oh hell yeah!
So that was it. That's as far as the site sleepers we got going on. Give me one sec. I got to load up the hats for Friday, and then we're going to spend the rest of the time talking with our guest, Vick Almighty.
Yes, and thank you everybody for tuning in on a Thursday. No, we're usually a Wednesday type of crowd, but appreciate everybody coming in.
Changing things up a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 18 hats to talk, or 17 hats, sorry, to talk about that are dropping on Friday. I'm going to hammer through these like pretty quick so we can save some time. First one up, City Connect Miami Marlins with the 30th anniversary patch, which hard to believe that it's been 30 years that the Marlins have been an organization, and they've won 2 World Series, but not as fast of a World Series as the Arizona Diamondbacks did in 2021. But regardless, good looking hat here.
Sick. It's very nice.
2001, not 2021.
Did I say 2021?
Yeah.
God damn it. I meant 01.
Giving them an extra trophy there, man. Yeah.
3 years, 98 to 01, whatever. This is that Glacier Green once again for Los Angeles Dodgers script with the 100th year anniversary on the side and a burgundy upper visor and button.
I feel like the Glacier Green's been getting used a lot lately, right?
It has.
Yeah. It's nice.
Yeah, I don't know how many more. I know that John was sprinkling a few of these into variety packs. I think this is our 3rd or 4th one. Third?
Number 3.
Yeah. Nice.
Number 3 individual.
I don't know how many more there are, though.
30. I'm kidding.
Ooh. Kobe's got a good comment, Ben.
Oh, hold on.
Wondering if the Bills are going to cover tonight.
I hope so. I picked them to 8.5 points.
You picked them against the Bucks?
Did you see the Buccaneers the last 2 weeks?
Have you seen the Bills recently? Anyways, let's go on.
Yeah. Oh, we'll get to that later. A nice electric blue teal two-tone Texas Rangers with a 95 All-Star Game patch on the side. Gray underbill on this one. Indigo and black two-tone. Another White Sox hat I might have to scoop up as well with metallic. Yeah.
I didn't know about this one.
As I say, it's dropping tomorrow.
Yeah,
well, I just spent a lot of money on our Saturday drop, so
it's kind of wild that 2 White Sox hat and A's hat on top of the 2 World Series hats that I bought in the beginning of the show. God damn it. Road Seattle Mariners with the 2007 All-Star Game patch. So shout out to Ichiro Suzuki on this one.
Yeah,
nice.
That. That's a nice one.
Cleveland Indians in the all red with the Jacobs Field patch.
Okay.
Indians get a lot of love.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of Indians.
That is a good crown.
That is Vegas Gold, Seattle City Connect script with the 2023 All-Star Game patch on the side. This one was not at the Battle of the Brims. This is just a new Giants hat unto itself. So old school, smaller font with the Giants across the front, 50th anniversary for the side patch, but brown and burnt orange two-tone.
I feel like we should have released that a couple weeks ago. That's a perfect Halloween hat.
I agree.
Oh, this is so pretty.
I feel like this one's a restock for some weird reason, or at least like the color scheme makes it seem like it. Because this
Is
is
it
like
an icy bottom?
no, it's gray. Because this is
Oh, okay.
basically a green eggs and ham, but with a gray bottom.
We did a couple of those. Like I have the Rockies one that we did. That was a green or a gray bottom for that.
Mm-hmm.
Still a good one. But yeah, that might be a re-rock or a restock. Sorry, not a re-rock.
Might be the only one. Somebody was asking about this New York Mets Puerto Rico side patch. It's finally dropping tomorrow. Tomorrow is your day. If you weren't able to get it at the NoHo store.
Nice.
Kansas City Royals, black and metallic silver with the 1989 All-Star Game patch on the side. If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm. And someone does know.
Someone does know. The last run of hats I'm going to show off here are going to be all hats that were available either at SneakerCon Dallas or the Battle of the Brim. So Texas Rangers olive green Ranger script on the front with the 40th anniversary patch. This was available at SneakerCon Dallas.
That's a nice one. I like it.
That. This one, all these are going to be from the Battle of the Brims that we did in San Francisco, just the leftovers. So giant script two-tone. This is actually more of a stone colorway for the crown, not an off-white. And then we have the light blue with the khaki two-tone, metallic silver on the interior with the SF logo. Apparently I did it twice. Two-tone, Real Tree Camo, Oakland A Stomper Head 50th anniversary.
Nice.
And last but not least, the black version of the Oakland script 50th anniversary for the kid in all of us. That's all you need.
There we go.
Yeah, that's our run.
Love it.
Give me 1 sec.
Some strong inventory there.
Yes, sir. And then of course we got to talk about Saturday's drop, the Jeff Staple drop, but we're going to do that in a little bit. But without further ado, our special guest this week, one of the finest shoe creators, shoe innovators on the planet, a very mustachioed individual coming from Phoenix, Arizona, Mr. Vick Almighty. What is up?
You love the stash or what?
As a man with facial hair, I gotta give a shout out to anybody who can grow a better stash than I can.
I appreciate that. Hey, Bree, Austin, Ben, pleasure to be here with you guys.
Hi,
Great
pleasure
to
to
see
have
you.
you.
Great to see you, and great to have you on, especially this week.
This is cool, man. Yeah, everything kind of lined up for this week. I'm excited. Bree, congrats on the Venus and Nike stuff. That's really exciting.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Of course. Ben, real quick, how are your nostrils, bro?
Oh, dude, amazing. Like I still got like a little bit of scabbing left over just because of the cutting and stuff like that, but multiple rinses a day. I breathe better. I feel like the vocals coming out aren't as nasally. It's fantastic.
Oh man, I saw you post that and it made me cringe. I'm like, fuck. I hope I don't go down the line. That
was the drug-induced edited version because like once I removed like all the cotton, I mean it was just bloody. Just
wow.
Oh god.
I had to bring that up, dude. Well, I'm glad you're feeling a lot better.
Nothing like hearing about Ben's nasal cleanse on a Thursday night.
Guys.
Oh god.
So I got to give a shout out to you, especially we were talking about this before the show. You work for Rejuvenator, and I've only had to use one of these ever, but I've got a whole stack of these. Absolutely amazing. If you guys ever need a quick shoe cleaning, this will do the trick.
That's all you need.
Hell yeah.
So I was telling Ben actually before we hopped on, I work with the product every single day of my life, but when it comes to my personal shoes, man, the wipes is all you need. I carry those wipes in my bag, pocket, like bust that out, give it the whole shoe a quick wipe down, the shoe looks great. But man, appreciate the shout out,
dude. Of course, man.
You're the man.
No, and we're going to talk more about this in like the next few questions in regards to like Supermart because of the fact that it was a collaborative effort between Hat Club and Rejuvenator. But
right.
We see you wearing a Hat Club hat, so I got to ask the question. What was the first hat that you can ever recall in your life ever wearing?
Dude, so my first very hat that I bought was at Hat Club, Metro Center, back in 2007, I want to say. So 2007, Metro Center, Hat Club. It was an all-white New York Yankees hat. I don't know why I went with an all-white.
Damn.
Why I went with Yankees, but that was my very first hat ever. And as soon as I put it on, that very first wear, dude, it already had smudges and shit from just wearing an all-white hat. But I still remember the experience. I still remember taking a picture with it for my MySpace. And at the time, it was, 8th grade. I was in 8th grade. Bald face and everything. It was a side profile shot. So
damn.
Yeah, dude, that was my very first hat. And yeah, Hat Club was, dude, I've been shopping at Hat Club since 2007. That's when I bought my very first hat. And it's always been a dream to work with Hat Club, to be honest, because back then it's always been shoes and hats for me, you know? So, you know, those two things go hand in hand. If you buy a new pair of shoes, you got to buy a hat that matches that pair of shoes.
Yeah.
So back in the day when I was in middle school and high school, you know, all my pennies that I would save would go directly to shoes and hats. So shoes would go first, and then I would go to the nearest Hat Club. So at the time, Metro Center was my go-to, and I would have to take the bus from high school directly there, or Desert Sky Hat Club. I don't know if that one's still there, but that was more of a further bus ride. So if the one in Metro Center didn't have what I needed, I would go to Desert Sky and see if there was a hat that matched my Jays. And at the time, it was a little bit more difficult. Nowadays, I feel like there's every single colorway
True.
you need. You know, back then, I feel like it was a lot harder to find something specific. Like I remember the 2010 Magic Jordan 7s that came out, blue and white. I couldn't find a fucking Orlando Magic hat to match it at the time on stock. Yep. But yeah, dude, it's definitely a dream come true at the time, you know, to work with you guys. It's just fucking cool.
And everything was like team color too. There wasn't all this colorization that we have going on now. Everything was like, you had to be in the Orlando area to get an Orlando Magic hat. Exactly. And that was it. Like you couldn't pop into any store and just grab something.
Exactly, dude. So different times, you know, glad we live in a different time when it comes to hats. Yeah,
for sure. And glad that we live in a world where we're not all choosing our playlists on MySpace anymore either.
Different world, man. Different world.
Yeah.
Good.
Love it.
So wait, you obviously, from what you just said, you've been collecting hats for a very long time. But currently, how many hats would you say you have in your collection?
So the thing with my hats, I wear them until they're beat, and then I either get rid of them, hand it down to somebody, or cut them up or whatever. I only have the hats from this year. Prior to that, I either hang on to a couple that are really dope that, you know, I for some reason want to hang on to for some reason. But I wear them basically, if, like, for example, this hat I just got a few days ago. I'm wearing this hat for the next 4 months.
Hell yeah.
Beat up and to the
app exclusive.
Man, we'll there. But yeah, dude, when it comes to hats at the moment, I probably only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 good hats from this year.
Love
nice
that.
rotation.
Yeah,
wait,
dude.
okay. So considering you're a big hat and sneaker guy, are you the same with your sneakers? Like you're wearing them till they're
yes and no. Back then in high school, I used to care more about matching. You know, my hat's got to be red and blue. My shoes got to be red and blue. Nowadays, I don't fucking care. You know? So I just wear the same hat for the next, 2-3 months straight. When it comes to shoes, when you restore shoes, customize shoes, buy shoes for 10 years, you tend to collect a bunch of stuff. I try to every single day throw on something different if I can. One of those things where I get kind of it's kind of a hassle every morning to go through the boxes, take one out. So sometimes I wear the same shoes for the whole week because they're just out. I just get out of bed, shower, and throw on whatever's out. I'm pretty lazy compared to high school, man.
That was going to be one of my questions. Was going to ask you if you felt a lot of pressure around the office to be the guy with the newest pair of shoes every single day, because you're the guy in front of the camera all the time. So
not really, I'll let the rest of these guys see our Shoeminator, But every now and then, like Miguel, he works here. He's done a lot of work for you guys.
Yep.
He busts out something fresh, and then I got to shut him down and bust out something fresh to follow. There's a lot of stuff that we haven't, like, for example, there's these Air Force Ones that he has, undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
He's been wearing them a lot. I still have a pair brand new at home. I'm waiting for him to beat up his pair so I can bust out my brand new pair. It's kind of like that.
Love that. Love that. I love that your style of what you have to wear is based off of everybody else around you as well.
Yeah. Oh, you're wearing that? I got that too, but it's in the tradition.
Hell yeah. Now, are there any hats that you or teams that you won't wear at all?
I've steered away from LA.
Okay.
I've steered away from LA. You know, it's one of those things. I do like the LA logo. It's classic. But when it comes to the actual teams and the rivalries, you know, Lakers, fucking Dodgers.
I'll put on my Diamondbacks.
I was waiting for that.
I didn't ask you how you were doing, Austin.
Yeah. Well, I'm a Mets fan, so even worse than being a Dodgers fan.
But I like. So here's the thing, though. I like the New York Mets logo. So like, we'll get into that in just a bit. But like that New York Mets Staples hat that's coming out, I told David I really like that hat. You know, so I really like that logo. So good team right there.
Yeah, I'm copping that one.
It's probably just the Dodgers and the Astros that I wouldn't wear. Astros because of what they did a couple seasons ago. I'm like, I don't want. But the two teams that I really love wearing is Diamondbacks and the White Sox. I love the White Sox logo. Classic. I actually just picked this up 2 days ago. That new one.
Oh shit!
That's the one. That was the one that was missing.
Contrast fit. Sold out.
So good.
This is a clean hat. You know that contrast stitching, even that logo on the side. That's that's unique stitching. Good hat.
That was what Bree was like. Her favorite part of that hat last week was that patch.
Yeah. Me and Miguel got it the same day. What I love about being, I don't know if it's an everywhere type thing, but since I'm here local in Phoenix, Hat Club's also here in Arizona, got a same day delivered. So I bought it at 11 in the morning, got delivered at like 4 p.m., 5 p.m. Like, I got home from work and it was sitting on my bed. It was the sickest thing ever.
Damn, we got to use you as like a marketing video for same day delivery.
Like fully functional and actually accomplishing what we set out to do with it.
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. It's a good feeling buying something and just having it at your house already on some Amazon Flow.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, it's only something that we can bless the Arizona people with right now, but in a specific region of Arizona. But I mean, I wish that I could get mine same day. Usually I'm waiting quite a long time for my shipment to get to Maryland. So
yeah. What, in your opinion, is your number one seed for all the hats that you have right now?
Number one seed? What do you mean?
Like, what's your favorite hat of all the hats that you've gotten over the years? What's the number one seed?
That's a good question. Honestly, like I'm pretty biased right now, but dude, I really like this hat that I'm wearing right now. It's like
nothing wrong with that, man.
It checks off all the categories, you know. Like I don't want to start giving. We haven't even asked me about this hat, so I won't get there just yet. But I like this hat a lot. I like the darker hats. So I like the black hats. You know, that's kind of my direction I go. I don't really wear like the brighter hats like red, blue, even though there's a lot of sick ones that I just absolutely love. I love the black hats or the cream hats. That's usually the direction I go.
Nice.
Okay.
Good call.
Yeah, nice.
Risky move for Arizona.
Yeah, I was going to say black hats in the desert is a risky move.
Yeah, I mean, it's whatever.
Okay, well, so you already told us what's the first hat that you scooped up, and ironically, it is from Hat Club. So we're gonna go into a little bit about your background.
Okay.
What was the first sneaker silhouette you fell in love with?
The first sneaker silhouette. That's a great question. Let me think. All right, Jordan 11. Actually, okay, so there's stages in my life, you know. So what really got me into sneakers was back in 4th grade, and that was the Fat Farms.
Oh, nice.
I begged my parents to get me those shoes, and that's the first time I ever cared about a pair of shoes, you know?
Yeah.
Just because all the homies and all the friends at the time were wearing them, like that was a cool thing to wear. Yeah. After that, in 5th grade, I went to Foot Locker, and I saw a LeBron 2 All-Star. It's gray, blue, and white colorway. So it wasn't even a Jordan. It was a LeBron that really got me into sneakers, and this was towards the end of the school year. Usually I don't get shoes at the end of the school year. I get them at the beginning of school year.
Right.
So I beg my parents in front of the Foot Locker, in front of people. I didn't give a fuck. You know, I was like, just begging them. And they're like, okay, we buy them for you. We're not going to buy you another pair of shoes for the following school year. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'll get them. So I got them like in May, end of school year, wore them all summer, went into 6th grade with a pretty beat pair of LeBrons. But that was a shoe that got me into everything. And then little by little, started getting into Jordans. Fast forward to sophomore year of high school. That's when the Space Jam 11s came out, 2010. And that's what really got me into sneakers after that.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. Hold on. I'll tell you right now. And I don't mean to like check you at all, but it was 2009. And I know it only because, no, we're here with this one because when Flight Club was on, what were they on? before they were on Broadway. What were they on? Mercer? No.
Yeah, they were on Mercer.
Mercer. Yes, they were on Mercer. Yes, they were on Mercer, and it was in a little boutique. And so my mom asked me if I wanted the Space Jams. I know it was 2009 because I'll never get over it. She asked me if I wanted the Space Jams. I said no. I told her I wanted these 12s that were dropping instead for Christmas.
The cherries, the red and white ones?
No, not even the cherries. They were these
all white ones.
They were black and purple 12s.
Oh.
Why I wanted those over the Space Jams, I don't know. Then we go to Foot Locker, and they had them there. One size left at Kids Foot Locker in my size. I told my mom, I was like, switch them out, do a return. I need the 12s. And I acted like a brat the whole time. So she was like, no, I'm not getting them for you. Then, like 2 weeks later, I'm hanging out with my friends in the city. We walk by Flight Club. What do they have? And then, so at the time, you could just obviously drop off, put yourself on consignment. So I went home the next day because I didn't have any money. So I went home the next day, got like 10 shoes to then sell, get the cash, and use what I could towards those 11s on display in 2009. But I went the day that Flight Club closed the doors on that location for good.
That's crazy.
Good memory. So yeah, you're right. 2009, at the end of 2009, December-ish, right?
Yes.
2010.
Yes, right into 2010. So
yeah, got me.
Yeah, we're here.
Now, Bree, I'm going to ask you the same question. What was the one sneaker that really got you into, like, that you first fell in love with, the silhouette? Was it the 12?
No, it wasn't. It was, if I'm being brutally honest, it's an Air Force One. But once I got into like the collecting of it, it's Jordan Ones. Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Mine was Adidas Superstars. When I was in elementary school and early middle school, I was obsessed with Adidas Superstars.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Ben, do you wear sneakers?
I do. I've just been listening to all your guys' like stories about all these amazing shoes you guys have. And you got to remember, since I was 15 years old, I've been a size 15. So I don't get the luxury of all these nice shoes that you guys get, because the one pair of shoes that I've always wanted, and this is going to sound crazy, is a pair of white and green Rod Lavers.
That's it?
That's it.
But this also goes into like why I like Nike Dunks, just because it's a simple shoe. It just kind of goes with like an entire outfit. Like, as much as people hate on like Panda Dunks, like I still like them just because of the fact that, yeah, they're not that comfortable, but at the same time, it's just like from a top to bottom perspective, it's just a good going out and kicking around shoe, and that's all I want.
That's fair, yeah.
Denzi Vice 91 knows where I'm coming from. Love you, brother.
Ben, did you ever shop at Ross? Ross gets all the cool shit when it comes to size 15, and
that is true.
That's true.
I've tried. The Rod Lavers like never went above a size 14, so I was just like, shit, out of luck out of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
People look out for you, man. Size 15, that's what you need.
Hell yeah. Now, Vic, do you have a preference when it comes to Nike or Jordan or Adidas, or do you like dabble in Saucony as well? Like, are you a mixed bag type of guy?
I like all the brands, dude. If it's a cool shoe, I'll buy it. But for the most part, like, it's Nike. You know, Nike typically has all the cool stuff. If you look at my closet, it's mostly Nike. But that's not to say that I'm strictly Nike. I'll buy any brand as long as it's cool.
Okay, dope.
Yeah.
So what was the first shoe that you looked at and you were just like, yeah, I need to change this entirely? What got you down the path of just doing your customizations?
God damn, that's a great question. It was little by little, honestly, you know. So back in like 2012, 13, I started doing cleanings, you know, and then I got really good at that. But when you get really good at something, you have to look for something else. So that's when I started getting into restorations and like repainting and midsole repaints and stuff like that. Got really good at that. I'm like, okay, now I got to figure something else out. And that's kind of where you just organically and naturally get into the customization side of things. And that's just, you know, changing the colors of stuff, you know, and that's basic level things. And then eventually you get really good at that. And then you have to move on to something else, especially if you're on YouTube. So I'm on YouTube every single Monday for the last 8 years. Every single Monday I have to come, you know, correct with a new project, you know, some new information, some new knowledge. So it's one of those things where I've always wanted to learn more, but the job itself, the YouTube side of things, requires me to continue to up my game, do more stuff to teach everybody else. So it's one of those things where, like, it's organic, but at the same time, I have to in order to keep doing what I'm doing, I guess.
That's dope.
Yeah, I don't know if I answered that properly.
There are elements of that I feel like we've gotten into with ReCap where it's just like it's weird. I'm not criticizing it at all, just because the fact that this entire format or this entire platform started as 5950 day back in 2020. Austin was still working for New Era at the time, and I had to go through him to be able to talk to his boss as our first guest, which is hilarious to kind of like look back on. And we thought we were going to do this for a month, and like here we are. It's been 3 years later. And on top of which, when we transition to Twitch, next week is the 1 year anniversary of that transition. So
yep.
Oh, wow.
That's impressive. Have you guys missed the week by chance, or has it just been pretty consistent for the last 3-4 years?
Yeah. Adds and flows.
Yeah, well, it's all, you guys done a great job. I mean, I've seen Ben for a couple years now. You know, watching him on IG at least. So just being on the other side of things is really cool. Just really cool. Just because Ben and I don't mean to leave Austin and Bree out, just because I've just seen Ben more. But he's really positive on camera and off camera. I've seen him here in Arizona. I've seen him at Senior Con and stuff. So it's really cool just to be on the other side of the screen for once.
Hell yeah, love that.
Nice. Yeah.
And then like what Space Hippie's saying, like viewership skyrockets when I talk about aliens in ancient Rome. That's when we're at our peak. That's when we're at our peak. Otherwise, it's very mid.
That's so funny.
So I have a question for you guys. What's your guys' favorite hats? You know, and yeah, I'll start with Benjamin. What's your favorite hat, dude? Like, of all time
that we've done, or that I mean, just
like you like personally, like you wear or whatever, or just I don't know, connect with. And
I left it in the other room, but honestly, when we did the black version, this one, which is dropping tomorrow, that one is like crept up in the top 5 for me. Even like the black and white one right there. I'm trying to think of not the actual technical name for it. Like the 5 stars pack, I wear way more often. But actually, just the regular all navy blue coked out tiger that we dropped back in 2018 is still like my number 1.
That's what's up. What about you, Austin?
So I think like probably ones that like are most special to me are like the ones that I did at New Era when I was working directly with like an athlete on the designs. Like I would work with like Greg Olson and Khalil Mack and Marshawn Lynch and all those guys on developing their own hats, which was really cool to see those go to retail. Like, and they always use like the biggest and best materials that New Era had in their arsenal for that. So those are some of my favorites for sure. But I think like what we have dropping this weekend is one of those things that's like kind of, I was talking about it last week on ReCap. It's kind of like a full circle moment for me. So I've been in the headwear industry for a long ass time. So over a decade. And I used to work at, my first job was at 47 brand, which is a headwear manufacturer in Boston.
Yeah, I love those. I love that brand too.
Yeah. And so I worked there, and then their head of marketing at the time, his name's Wayne Best. I'm not sure where he's at now. But he brought Jeff Staple into the office, and like I would chop it up with Wayne all the time. We were, we were good coworker friends. And then introduced me to Jeff and said, like, hey, we're going to go grab lunch. You want to come with us? So I was like, oh yeah, sure. Absolutely. So got to go to lunch with Jeff and Wayne and just chopped it up with them for an hour or two. And then here I am over a decade later doing a collab with the man. So that's a really cool moment for me. Circle. And like, I haven't talked to Jeff since then. And I like on like the intro, this has been a project in the works for over a year now, or just over a year. So when we were doing like the intro calls and like talking to Jeff and seeing what we had for the vision for the brand, I was like, Jeff, I don't I just want to like say, like, I don't know if you remember me, but like been awesome to see what you've been doing like for so long, but I've met you before. And then he goes, oh yeah. I was like, I used to work at 47. He goes, oh yeah, Wayne, right? Like talking about Wayne Best. And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, oh yeah, we got lunch. And I was like, yeah. So that was a pretty cool moment for me. So like this one's a really special one coming up for me on Saturday.
Yeah, good memory.
Yeah.
What about you, Bree? What's your favorite hat?
I actually don't own my favorite hat. Well, I'm biased. So I have 3. The one I don't own that I'll call my Grail fitted Grail, whatever. It's gonna be the Brewers from the beer pack, the two-tone. Yeah, because
the navy crown one. Okay.
No, white crown and then navy upper visor, I think.
Okay, so beer pack 2, that was beer pack 1, or was that beer pack 2? Beer pack 2 was navy crown, I think.
Okay, so that was 1.
Are you guys talking about the Yodi?
No, the Yodi's is a navy crown. The white one, I think, was beer pack 1.
Yeah, it was more like a royal too.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Beer pack 1. Wow, there we go. Okay,
that's the Grail that I don't own. Then I'd have to say I'm biased here, so I'm gonna say my Dodgers from my pack because it's like an ode to it's an ode to a lot of things, but mainly Spike Lee. So that's one of my favorites. The two-tone Phillies from Ben's pack, and the whole Spike Lee pack because. Well, I shouldn't say that, but yeah, that that one because I really like Spike. So yeah,
that's sick. Solid collection, solid hats. That's a crazy thing. There's so many collections and hats that came out over the years from all the different brands, Hat Club, New Era, you name it. Pretty insane.
And it's always weird. It's weird for me because like you put me on the spot first, and it's just like I can just rattle off like old collections we've done over the last decade. But the second you ask, in my opinion, like, fuck, I don't know.
I know I'm not the one asking the questions, but real quick, when it comes to Hat Club, who is the guy that is probably the most knowledgeable when it comes to this collection, this hat, or whatever? Because there's been so many collections, so many different hats in the last X amount of years that, it's kind of hard to keep track of every single one.
I got to say either John or I'm spaced on his name right now. He's Canadian. Jamel,
one of those guys.
Okay.
Jamel, I would actually, despite the fact that he just kind of does like behind the scenes work, like that dude is a savant when it comes to like knowing anything that Hat Club did since '92.
Ben's pretty damn good though, especially with the patches. I'm like fourth place. Patch knowledge in the game, so.
I'll humble myself. I feel like there's 3 people in the company that know more than I do.
But I also feel like Ben has leverage because he knows like even outside of the brand, like random facts. Like I just learned because of him, like where like the Yankees and the Tiffany connection, learned that from Ben. So he knows like gems outside of like what Hat Club has done. So that I'm giving my hat off to Ben.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, cool. Knowledge is power.
And I will admit the weird connecting point with that, as far as like the story and the history for like logos and teams like that, comes from one of Austin's old coworkers, maybe boss Jim Wanamaker, because I used to work with him on researching a lot of like historical stuff about logos and teams and stuff like that. So
yeah, Jim Wanamaker's a historian at New Era, and literally he has this whole room in the basement of New Era, his basement dwelling, that is just completely dedicated to all things New Era and all things hats. So it's a really cool space to be at. And like, if you ever get a chance to, or have a reason to go to Buffalo, like we can try and make that happen. It's a really cool thing to check out.
That's sick.
Yeah. It's pretty impressive. He literally has like these like, cause New Era's headquarters was actually in the old Federal Reserve building. So it's like got bank vaults in it and all this crazy shit. But he like has like this crank system where he like cranks the whole wall moves and brings out a whole different slew of hats and a whole different like stack of media. So it's pretty cool.
Shit, that's dope.
Yeah, it's
cool.
Pretty god tier. Yeah.
All right, we got more questions for you. So we want to know, how old were you when you first started on your path to like design and create your own personal touch on sneakers? And what were some of the first challenges you faced when taking on that endeavor?
For sure, I was in high school, 2011-ish. And it's one of those things where I was just doing it for myself just because, I was always into shoes and hats. But as a high school kid, you only have so much money. So going on Craigslist, buying all that used stuff, cleaning it up at home.
Hell yeah.
Making it look better, and then just having myself a quote unquote new pair of shoes. The biggest challenges, it's one of those things. there's always challenges. Like I'm working on a project right now. There's challenges as we speak. You know, every single project that I've never tried on, that I've never practiced on before, there's always something I have to deal with. Like for example.
For example.
Away.
I gotta call out Space Hippie in the comments real quick because he's grilling both Austin and me like routinely throughout this entire discussion.
Oh no. So for example, these
oh hell yeah.
I just did a custom on these where I basically turn them into low top sneakers.
Yeah. For Nick, right?
Yeah, for my boy Nick Wilson, exactly. It's one of those things where I've never done before. People cut the tops all the time, but the trick is adding a new sock liner and covering up all the imperfections and stuff. So that was one thing that I'd never done before. Last week, just had to sit down, grab a couple beater shoes. And that's the thing. I have a lot of test shoes. You know, I don't always go directly to using, you know, expensive sneakers and stuff. So I go on some, you know, get some beater shoes, test that out. I a lot of the times I do this stuff at night. So here at Reshoeminator from like 8 to 5, I'm filming. From 5 to midnight, I'm either working on personal projects or testing out other stuff. So I'm basically always here in the studio just testing out stuff or in front of the camera. The biggest challenge though was obviously cutting the top off and adding a whole new liner and making it look flush. Figured it out. I was so fucking hyped. But when it comes to challenges, dude, there's always challenges. There's always going to be more challenges. That's the fun thing about this. That's what brings me so much pleasure from doing this. At the end of the day, it's just all problem solving. And when you figure something out, you just get that good feeling, you know, and then once the project's all completed, to see, you know, you put in 30 to 40 hours and you can see the imperfections, but that's kind of the beauty of it sometimes.
Damn, that's sick.
You know, that's one thing I've learned to, you know, appreciate is the imperfections. You know, I'm a big perfectionist, so I'll spend the extra 10 hours for some details that nobody is going to know but me. But it's one of those things where I'm trying to take a step back and appreciate the imperfect things, because it's one of those things where I've learned there's a term, but I'm not even going to try to say because I forgot what it is. But yeah, I won't even, because I don't even know the exact term, so I can't even give you an explanation. Actually, I have it up on my Google. I didn't close the page. Say it.
Love it.
It's called wabi sabi in traditional Japanese. In traditional Japanese aesthetics, wabi sabi is a worldview centered on the acceptance of transience and perfection. The aesthetic is sometimes described as one of appreciating beauty that's imperfect, impermanent, and incomplete. In nature, it is prevalent in many forms of Japanese art.
Oh, that's
so
dope.
I kept this open because I don't know. I feel like I could connect.
Now, when you've done, I mean, probably countless projects over the years, but I'll also ask Space Hippie's question because it was kind of coincides with what I was going to ask. So Space Hippie is wondering what your hardest shoe was to customize. And then my question is, over these years, has there been like one project that you worked on and you're like, holy shit, if I fuck this up, we are out so much money. This is the only shoe I have to work on. Like, has there ever been one of those moments?
So I'll answer both questions. I'll answer the first one with the expensive sneakers. I've worked on like $50,000 sneakers, $100,000 sneakers where like it's one of ones, you know, that belong to Michael Jordan type thing, you know, golf cleats, prototype stuff like that. Some of the stuff I can't show on camera because the owner of those sneakers doesn't want to reveal how they got them. Because sometimes it's like shady business in the background, you know, like they're prototypes, stuff that belongs to Michael Jordan and stuff.
Right.
It's fire.
How does this stuff
name dropping out here?
I know, okay. I mean, it's the fun stuff. You know, I love hearing about this stuff. So, like, you know, MJ's personal collection, he's not just selling it off. So how's this stuff ending up in the market? So there's sometimes some shady people going on. Like, for example, there was a security guy. Don't know his name. Don't know exactly who he was. But at some point, he took a couple pairs of shoes, you know, sold them to collectors overseas. Eventually, you know, they get sold back here in the States and they're in private collections and nobody's ever going to know type thing. But those are the shoes that I've worked on, and those are the shoes I can't fuck up. I don't got $50,000 in the bank.
Right.
So in those situations, I just count on experience and just, you know, don't overthink it and just, you know, make sure what I'm doing, I'm capable of doing. I don't try to bite more than I can chew. But yeah, dude, I've definitely done those projects where like they're worth a lot, you know, there's no going back, but you know, I can definitely just rely on the experience and just not overthinking to, you know, make sure I get that job completed. The projects that's probably been the hardest are probably the customs, because those are the ones you got to think about. You got to conceptualize. You got to figure out how to go about it. Last year, the Phoenix Suns did their new city edition jerseys. They were the Native American blue jerseys. I love the storytelling behind those jerseys. It was just honoring the Native Americans here in Arizona. So to be a part of that was really cool. And to move that design onto a sneaker was really hard, because there was a lot of different elements. There was, different colors, the tribal patterns, step patterns, just all unique lines and stuff that I didn't want to miss out on, arrowheads. So that moving those jerseys onto a shoe wasn't that hard, but placement and making it tasteful was the part that was tricky. The hard part was making the shoe, because there was so many details, line work, different colors, had to dye the sneaker first, had to cut this off, sew this on, paint that, paint this. At the end of the day, it was a 40-hour job on one pair of sneakers. I did 4 of them, so 160 hours worth of work just for 4 pairs of shoes. That's one that I'm most proud of, just because it was with the Phoenix Suns. It came out beautiful. I made sure I took my time. The last pair was for Steve Nash, who saw them when the Phoenix Suns posted it. He said he wanted a pair. The marketing director hit me up. He's like, "Hey, do you want to make him a pair? We'll cover the cost." I'm like, "Of course." Even when it comes to basketball, there's 2 basketball heroes for me. It's obviously Steve Nash and Devin Booker, Phoenix legends.
Okay.
So was like, dude, I have
Barkley.
Barkley's cool. Don't get me wrong, but that was my era. I didn't really watch him growing up. Steve Nash was the guy that really got me hyped back in 2005. He's the one that got me into basketball, the Suns.
Okay.
Steve Nash, without a doubt, and Booker's just legendary and just everything he does for the city. But I have a 4-foot bobblehead of Steve Nash in my room. That's how much I like the guy.
4-foot bobblehead?
4 foot. It's a pretty big bobblehead, and shit. Like,
that's incredible.
When I meet the guy, I'm gonna take that big old bobblehead. I don't even care if he judges. Like, can you sign this for me, bro?
That's amazing.
But yeah, going back to that custom, that was definitely one of the more harder ones and time-consuming ones that I've done. The one that I'm doing right now is another Suns project for their new city edition jerseys. I haven't revealed them yet, but it's very lowrider inspired. Pinstripes, gradients, and stuff. Stuff that we really never seen on a jersey before, and it's really touching big on the Arizona Chicano side of things. So, the lowrider culture is big here. So, just like last year, they did a good job of touching on the Native American, indigenous side of things. They're doing the same thing with the Chicano and Hispanic side of things, and for the city jerseys this year.
You got Best of AZ excited.
Exactly, and they haven't seen the jerseys yet. So I've never seen anybody do, lowriders have some of the sickest paint jobs in the world.
Right.
Line work, iridescent, shifting paints, gold flakes, gradients, everything, you name it. I've never seen that on a shoe before. I haven't seen go all out with some sick pinstripings and all that stuff. So right now I'm working on conceptualizing one of those things. I'm trying to tap into my lowrider paint job side of things. I'm looking up all these videos. I've never done pinstriping or grading, stuff like that, but I'm trying to understand how that works. And I'm trying to translate a lowrider paint job onto a pair of Cortezes. The thing is, like, it's already going to be like, I already predict it's going to be a 60-hour paint job. But I'm like, in my head, I'm like, you know what's sicker than 1 pair of customs? 2 pairs of customs. Well, I don't know where I just double my workload for no ass reason. Nobody asked me to do 2 customs, but I figured it's a really cool to do like a unique version. Two versions where they look the same, but they're not the same. That's in the works. I order the shoes, they're on the way. I'm right now drawing out the lines, trying to see what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. This one probably is going to be my hardest one by far.
That's pretty incredible. Yeah, and you'll have to keep us updated on that too. I watch a lot of random shit on YouTube, and I was actually watching one about lowrider cars and painting them. And like, it was like a group of people. It was in LA. It wasn't in Phoenix, unfortunately, but they said that like for painting the pinstripes, the key for them is going as fast as possible, rather than like taking your time and making sure that everything's good. They said going as fast as possible is what's good for them. I don't know if that's going to translate to sneakers though, because you have way more grooves and bumps and
I'll tell you this. I'm using a lot of tape and a lot of vinyl. I do not know how to do what those guys do. If you guys ever have a chance, go watch those pinstriping videos. Those guys are next level artists. Like, what they do with their hand. Like, yeah, they go fast. They do one crispy line. But what's crazier is they do a parallel line right above that.
It's
that's
perfect.
the exact same thickness, same exact everything, and it does never touch the other one. It's just insane. So I'm definitely not on that level. I'm not going to pretend I'm on that level, but tape and vinyl will be used.
Oh yeah, love that. Love that.
From a creation and execution standpoint, what's the most valuable lesson you've learned or that you've taught yourself?
Ask that one more time. Sorry.
From a creation and execution standpoint, what's the most valuable lesson you've learned or that you've taught yourself?
That's a great question, dude. Damn. Well, one of the biggest things that the reason why I'm still here doing what I do is consistency. You know, consistency is what has led me here as far as like the customs and restoration that I do, but not just that, it's getting in front of the camera. In my opinion, the customs and restoration and sneakers things is the easier part. Yeah. Getting in front of the camera, talking, translating the information, you know, that's the harder part. You know, I'm going to say this. I suck at being in front of the camera. I suck at enunciating things. I talk way too fast. So the biggest lesson for me that I've learned is consistency and just, you know, writing it out, man. Like, I've had a lot of tough times where, like, I'm in front of the camera, I'm just like 10 takes in, I'm just like, fuck this, dude. I don't want to do this no more.
I'll give you a little insider scoop here. So we have Ben creating some videos here in the near future, and one of the reference points I sent was your videos and how well you execute them. So
that's cool. I appreciate that. Awesome.
Yeah. So you're a reference point for some future marketing for us.
Give me a bench, and I got some tips for you.
I'm self-taught in like most of the stuff I do. So any tips I can get, I'll take them.
It's funny. Nah, actually, it'd be the other way around, dude. You're just a natural on camera. But dude, it's yeah. I mean, to answer your question, I don't necessarily. I know there is something that, you know, over the years that have taught me, but the biggest thing that I've learned is consistency when it comes to everything. I think that's key to certain things. That's kind of why I asked you the show that you guys have created the last few years. Yep. Like, how consistent has it been? Have you guys missed any shows? And obviously for the last 3 years, you know, you might have missed a couple here and there, but for the most part, it's 3 years.
Three total for me that I've missed. Yeah,
exactly. But that's nothing compared to 3 years worth.
Right.
3 years, weeks. So I think what's gotten you guys so successful is making sure you guys are consistent with these videos. That's why you guys got so many, you know, people tuning in and stuff to, you know, hear what we're talking about, because you guys been consistent with what you guys are doing. You guys are consistent with all your weekly drops. You guys are consistent with your content. So I think consistency is a big thing for anybody, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
So I'm going to sidetrack here, guys. And I had one question that I wanted to ask, like, from a content creation standpoint, if someone was trying to get new into it into 2023, what would be like recommendations that you have for them as becoming a new content creator and establishing that growth? Obviously, we have the blessing of having a big brand behind us as well. Like, you've done it from scratch, brought your name up there. Like, what are some tips that you would give for someone going into it in 2023?
100%. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot trickier nowadays. We know where we're at as far as content and all that stuff. Because back when I started in 2016, yes, there's always been content, but there's an overload of content now.
Yeah, there is, for sure.
This business, you got Netflix, you got HBO Max, you got regular TV, you got all these brands, all these pages and whatever creating content, you know. So it's only so much time in a day, you know. So it's kind of hard to like get somebody like, hey, watch this video of me.
Yeah.
You know. So I think the two biggest things is entertainment and education. You know, you gotta provide something for the viewer. You just can't get in front of the camera and just because you're good or whatever and talk about something. You know, you got to provide something. And if you can do both of them, then I think you can create something magical, you know.
That's dope.
So I think, so education, you know, you got to teach, and entertaining, you got to be good in front of the camera. You got to be consistent. Going back to what I was saying, you got to be consistent. You can't just upload a video, come back in 3 months and hope that, you know, that engagement that you created 3 months ago is still going to be there.
Sure.
So I think there's a lot of things to it. And again, like you said, we're lucky that we have big brands behind us to be where we're at. But 8 years ago, 7 years ago when I started, I did not have 2 editors. I did not have 2 shooters. I did not have a person overseeing the entire YouTube. It was just 2 people, me in front of the camera and somebody behind the camera doing all the editing and stuff. So it's one of those things where, you know, I wouldn't say like, just because you see me in this awesome set and see how good I am in front of the camera doesn't mean I was always like that. You know, take it back to several years ago, including you guys, you know, it was very different. So it's definitely, you know, grind it out, stay consistent, provide something to the viewer. And there's a lot of things to it. You know, again, going back to what I stated in the beginning, like, you know, a lot of years have gone by. I've established, you know, an audience, but I would say several years ago, it was a lot easier to get that engagement and audience compared to now, you know, just because everybody's competing for that view, whatever it is. So I'm not trying to discourage anybody by saying, you know,
don't try it, kid.
Yeah. But I will say this, there is ways, you know, just consistent, provide something, do your research, you know, find a niche, do something, you know, and look at these other guys that are doing what you want to do. You know, for example, when I'm into sneakers, so I'm looking at what these other sneaker guys are doing to see, you know, they're doing to make sure I'm not staying behind them when it comes to that. I'm also watching all these YouTube guys to see how they're talking and stuff. Like Ben, like the reason I like hats and all, but I've tuned into your stuff over the years, dude, because you're just so good on camera, you know?
I appreciate that.
I look up to that. I keep on saying that, but I look up to that kind of stuff because I aspire to be like that. So definitely, you know, look towards other people and, you know, get what you can. And also don't be afraid to reach out, you know, definitely reach out to whoever you can. You know, there's a lot of resources out there, a lot. You just got to tap into them.
I think the one thing I'll add to that is prepare. Don't just go in with a mental game plan and just think like, oh, I can do this and cut it. No, dude. I mean, the fact that every show that we do every week, like I'm working on shit for like 2 to 3 hours before we go live to make sure like everything is in order. And yeah, my internet wigs out on occasion, which surprisingly it has not done today. But it's just like, no, there is a method to this, and there is a strict schedule I try to adhere to. And yeah.
Exactly.
Also, shout out to us, Ben, because like I was telling Ben earlier, I watched it. Did you guys watch the Nike stream today on the app? Like their first ever announcements. They did like their full 2024 run on the sneakers app, and they had tech issues going on there. So not just us. Granted, they had 97,000 people watching, but
yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it happens everywhere type thing.
Yeah, for sure. Right. But I think the one thing that, well, first of all, I mean, everyone looks at themselves differently, but from this conversation alone, you seem you seem very good on camera. So I'll give you that. I think you're like knocking yourself. No, you're actually really good on camera.
I appreciate that. It's a life.
You are.
No, you are. You have good energy.
I appreciate that.
But also I think what probably makes you stand out, because I think to what you said, it's very true. Like a lot of people, it's an oversaturation of content creators and everyone doing a lot of the same thing or similar things. But I think because you started 8 years ago, I think it's really cool because a lot of people are creating content with the intention of either getting famous or making money. And so with you doing it for so long, it's pretty evident that like it's because it's something you're passionate about. And I'm sure that's reflected in the content that you put out. So it's like, and your consistency, so passion, authenticity, consistency, people read that through the screen. So that's definitely what's kept you, where you're at. And
that's definitely a great one. You got to be doing it for the right reasons. If you say you want to be famous, or you want to like have people say hi to you in person, or you want to get rich, you just shut it down already. You're not
right.
Yeah.
For you got to be doing it for the right reasons and love what you do and stick it out, because it's going to get tough at times. But dude, that's a good one.
I think the internet's become a much more brutal space too. So like I think people are coming for you automatically now, as opposed to like 7-8 years ago. Like you might have had some people that have been like, oh, this is new, this is exciting. Like now everybody's like, no, Vick Almighty already did this. Fuck you.
Yeah. Internet's a rough place.
Yeah.
It is. Wait, so
go ahead,
I was
Brady.
going to ask my next question. So Did you want to go?
No, good.
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know if you had anything else to say. So obviously you've worked with like a lot of silhouettes, but is there a particular silhouette that you feel like more comfortable with than others?
Yeah, I would say a Jordan 1. You know, Jordan 1 is an easy one. I wouldn't say easy one, but it's a good canvas at the end of the day. A Jordan 1, Air Force 1, good canvases to customize all day long. Those guys, Peter Moore and Bruce Kilgore, those are the two creators of those two shoes. They knew what they were doing. 30, 40 years later, like that shoe is super relevant. And like those guys made a place for me to make a living type thing, you know, like guys like Bruce Kilgore created the Air Force 1. Peter Moore created the Jordan 1. Then you got Michael Jordan and stuff. It wasn't for like three guys like that, people like me wouldn't have a job nowadays. So forgot what the question was, but I got carried away with that. But,
no, you answered it though.
That was it.
Yeah, I still appreciate those guys. You know, those guys don't know me. They'll never hear me thanking them. But guys like that, Senior Hatfield and all those creators, we wouldn't, Nike too, I wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for, you know, their stuff they created years ago.
You never know who's watching. There's been some doozies that come out and like people are like, oh yeah, I saw you on this, or oh yeah, Ben, like I saw you on ReCap like 3 weeks ago, and you're like, wait, what? Why? So, like,
you never know who's watching. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, I also go to that, you know, that whole 6 degrees of separation thing, or like how many steps are you away from like a certain celebrity? I am literally 2 steps away from both of those guys you mentioned. If you want, I could probably put a good word in for you.
Next YouTube video just locked in.
Cool, man. That's really cool.
All right,
No,
Ben,
I
you're up.
was going to ask a little bit ago in regard to, you know, the Supermart event that we did back in February. You customized some shoes based on actual hats and using a deconstructed hat essentially to. Do you have them with you first off? Yes. And then which hat or hats did you use to work one of those?
So we took apart 3 different hats, and those were all Arizona Diamondbacks hats from that event. That was a really cool event, by the way. You guys did a great job with the setup.
You guys did a great job.
All you guys did, man. We were just hanging out. You know, so this big old cereal bowl on top of the roof.
Oh yeah,
market vibe. That was such a sick setup. But yeah, a lot of cool collections that day. You had collections from Hopkins. You had stuff from Ish Wainwright. Yep. Jimmy Gutierrez did some stuff as well. There was some cool collections. So I bought a bunch of Diamondbacks hats with the intent of making the shoe straight up Diamondbacks, and it was great too that I did that because Diamondbacks are in the World Series right now. So like
the foresight for you.
So like so I do have some of the parts of the original hats. This is one of them. Serpientes.
Oh, nice.
That was one. This was Jimmy's hat, Arizona with the Suns colorway, cream. Then we got this other
one right there.
Yeah, it's a clean one. Arizona as well.
Damn.
And then I had to go afterwards shop at a hat club. I ran into the homie Jay the Plug. That's the plug.
Yeah.
Hooked me up with this classic Diamondbacks white hat. So we ended up using 4 of them. So as you can see on the inside of both shoes, we used the side patches. One of them for the 20th anniversary.
So awesome.
The other one, we got the snake biting that ball. There's a lot of cool elements when it comes to this shoes, you know. So it was with the intent, you know, like what if, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen one day, either Hat Club, New Era, or whatever collaborates with Nike SB. It's a long time coming, you know. Hats and shoes are hand in hand. You know, if there are collaborations with Powerpuff Girls and Jaritos, like they're gonna make one with hats.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible.
Any moment now, you know. So with this shoe, I try to make it seem like if it was, you know, Hat Club and Nike sitting down in a conference table designing a shoe.
Love that.
I went with the green, you know, green undersole just because it's classic underneath, green under brim. The inside on the bottom, I got that sticker.
Yeah,
I like that.
That is such a simple but effective, especially for that area to have it cover so perfectly.
Yeah, same thing on the opposite side. You know, little Diamondbacks.
Oh man, it's so good.
And when Fran was telling me that you guys were putting this together, like I kept pushing. I was like, dude, have him do it in a size 11. Have him do it. And he told me, what did you guys do it in an 8.5 or something?
Size 9, my size.
Yeah,
sample size.
Yeah,
I got you next time, Austin.
Appreciate that.
So yeah, green sole for the classic underneath brim. The toe boxes, you got one of the ventilation holes from the top of the hat.
That's
Oh,
crazy.
man, I don't know how I missed that before. That's great.
You know, on the back. Of both
That's my favorite part is the 2 logos on the back.
Baseball, obviously on the front, same thing.
No,
Those are insane.
Genius.
I love those.
Got the New Era logos.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
So really, this one was just a straight up monotone green. So we got a darker green up here. This was actually from the underbrim, that green right there. More green down here. You know, the cream toe box. What else? Most of it is hats, but we weren't going to have enough material from hats. So we had to include some other materials to make the hat materials pop a bit more. So we added some pound leather. Get that focus.
Okay, nice.
That's pound leather. I never really see dunks with pound leather, so I thought it'd be a nice touch. More pound leather right there. Some nice calf skin on the inside, super plush and soft, really comfortable shoe. But yeah, I just wanted to keep it on the simpler side. You know, I went with Diamondbacks because that's my home team. Greens, I just thought it'd be a nice touch. Overall, you know, I think they came out pretty smooth.
Now the
No,
people want to know about the
Yeah.
stickers on the bottom, a little bit more behind that. So people are concerned that the sticker is going to fall off, but you put it in. Do you put it in rubber, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I haven't necessarily worn these yet. I have
Yeah.
a lot of my customs. I just display them or wear them down the line. Yes, the stickers are going to scrape right off if I keep them on there. We'll take them off, whatever.
Just throw some laminate over it. You're good.
Exactly, man. You know, just a little piece of plastic on there and we're good. But
Hell yeah.
Fire.
what I really want to do is make some time and just redesign these stickers. So still be the same concept, but, you know, add a little Vick Almighty touch, Diamondbacks touch, you know, all the little words, just replace them. But it's one of those things I got to make some time for. I do want to do another. So the thing with a hat custom, you can do so much. There's so many different directions you could take it. You got all these different baseball teams. You got all these different hats. You got different materials. You could do a lot, you know. So it was one of those things for this project where it was a little complicated because there was like 5 other ideas I wanted to do, but ultimately we just kind of went with this one. Like I wanted to do an Easter custom, you know, because, you know, with hats you got all these different colors. So I wanted to pick out pastel color tones, you know, do this. The original idea was for the tongue tag was to be a cracked egg with the Hat Club hat on. And I do have it somewhere. I did embroider it. It's just somewhere I just didn't use it.
That's sick.
I feel like I need to show you guys, but
I feel like we got to have a Vick Almighty Easter pack.
One of these days, man, 100%. So the hardest part about this custom, though, was the amount of material that you have to work with on a hat. You know, so when it comes to a hat, you don't just have one big piece of material. You got a lot of seams, you know, and you got a lot of panels and stuff. So you got to make it work with what you have. So like this entire back green piece, it seems like one panel, but in reality, it's 2. This check is just kind of is covering up the cut seam. What would have made this project a lot easier was if I had like a roll of, you know, material from a hat, just cut that off. You know, that would have I would have been able to do this whole custom out of hats. So that's why I had to include the pound leather.
Oh, that's dope.
You know, so maybe on round 2 we could do that. But that was basically it, dude. So I do want to do another one of these. It's like one of those things where like you can do so much, go this way, do colors, do that. So in the works.
That's rad.
That's awesome. Love to hear that.
Yeah, it was a cool project. Loved it. Somebody else recently did a really cool project made out of hats. It was for a pair of cleats. And they might have been worn in the NFL. I don't know the artist, but they came out really freaking clean. You know, it was a nice green colorway.
Oh,
was it what's his name?
I don't know, man. Mosh. I don't think Mosh did it because he does painting. This was like a fully constructed pair of shoes, you know, from bottom up. I'll find a pair and send it to you guys if you guys want. But really cool shoe.
That's sick.
Wow.
That's sick.
Yeah. So more.
Now you've also been the face of a couple of our marketing campaigns before.
Yeah,
so has there been a hat club project that you've liked working on the most? Besides the sneaker recreation?
Yeah, that one was fun. The last one we did where we were out in the baseball field and stuff, I did that with Miguel, Maddie. That one was really fun. That was a really cool drop. This one right now that I'm a part of as well, you know, I did a cool video with Miguel. For those of you that don't know, Miguel works here at Rejuvenator. He does a lot of the video content side of things. He's been doing a lot of stuff for Hat Club. He has a nice touch when it comes to editing and stuff.
Yeah, he does.
He's really good at stuff. So that's who Miguel is. He's the one that helped me out he's the one that shot that other campaign. He helped me shoot this campaign as well. So he's definitely very helpful and very hands on deck when it comes to these Hat Club projects.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but dude, honestly, when it comes to like anything Hat Club, like I'll do any freaking campaign you guys want me to. You know? Like have a great time. You know, you guys shoot. Maddie, you guys are photographer.
Yep.
Great dude. Great vision, knows how to make it easy on you. So
hell yeah, Maddie's the best. We love Maddie.
Yeah, Maddie's a good dude. But yeah, include me more in campaigns.
Well, we already asked. I already spoiled that next question for Bree, so I think we should drop down to the other one.
Do it.
Bree, you got it?
Wait. Yeah. Wait, no.
So the one that's for you on the second page, I spoiled that on accident.
Yeah, we just went through that. Okay. So for this project, did this project inspire any future projects that you want to do? And if so, can we get it? Yeah.
Yes, 100%. Because I do want to do another Hat Club project down the line, you know, with a different team, different silhouette, because there's so much to do. And it definitely opened up doors to start constructing dunks, because this shoe was built from bottom up, you know, so you have your pattern pieces, you know, you lay them all out, you cut everything out. So that was the first time I ever made a dunk. And actually I had a good friend, my friend Jordan Diab. He came from Las Vegas. I flew him out to help me out with this project, you know, because it's always good to have a helping hand.
Wow.
With these projects. So I flew him out. We were hanging out for 2 to 3 days working on this project and a different one. So he was very helpful when it came to the construction side of things. So touching back on a previous question that you asked me, like when it comes to my process and how I go about learning stuff and how I move to the next level, some of the knowledge isn't available anywhere. You can't just go on YouTube. You can't just go to sign up for a class and learn this knowledge. Some of this stuff is just, you got to learn it yourself, plus get some practice in. So the cool thing is when I have one of those projects that I don't know how to go about it or want to learn how to do something new, luckily we have a big enough, you know, budget here at Reshoot when it comes to our video projects. I'll just find one of my homies from a different state, fly them out here for a whole week. We do the whole project, and during that project, you know, I'm learning how to do stuff, learning his process, learning how he goes about stuff. I ask him questions, so I'm bugging the guy. It's like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? What do you do about this? What did you do for that one project? How should I go about this? So going back to asking a lot of questions has gotten me to this point, thanks to all the good collaborators that I've worked with in the past, including my good friend Jordan Diab, that helped me with this shoe. So it definitely opened up doors because I learned how to construct a dunk. Benjamin's back. It opened up doors for me to construct dunks in the future and how to properly work with hat materials. Because when it comes to hats, they're pretty flimsy. You know, you got to back them properly. You know, you got to know how to, there's techniques to it. So with getting that knowledge from this first project, it definitely opened up doors to do more hat projects and more full builds in the future.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah. I didn't realize that aspect of you, like continuously working with someone that you're friends with and flying them in.
You know, so the cool thing from working with sneakers for the last 10 years, I've made a lot of connections, you know, throughout the country from other people that do this for a living. Nice. And some people are better at certain things than others. If that person knows how to do something that I don't know how to do and he's cool with me, I'll fly him out here. I'll pay for his flight, his Airbnb, his food. All you got to do is be charming on camera and, you know, be down to help me with this project.
That's awesome, man.
I love it. In your worldwide travels and stuff that you do, what are your typical rotation sneakers that you take with you?
There's this Jordan 1 pair that I have that they started off as a pair of mochas. They're black and white, but I completely distressed them, added paisley print, added stitching all over the shoe, beat them up. I wish they were here. Added some cool accessories to them, swapped out the tongue, made them real rustic, you know.
Oh, hell yeah.
You know,
the way it should be.
The way it should be, exactly. You know, I aged them and stuff. So that's a pair of shoes that I take on every single trip that I go on. You know, whether I go out of the country, I go out of the state, I throw them in the bag. And after I wear them in that state, on the side panel, on the inside, I write the initials of that country or the state and the year next to it. And that's just a memory of where I went. So I've kind of built up quite a few of states and countries on the side panel, like Canada, Colombia, and a bunch of states here in the U.S. So that's a shoe that I always take everywhere I go.
That's dope. Can you take a picture of that and post it on Twitter later, and then we'll retweet it because I want to see that.
I got you, dude. It's a sick ass shoe. I love that shoe. It's my favorite pair.
That's awesome. Oh yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, where are we at here? Oh, okay. What's your biggest sleeper sneaker of 2023?
I think I consider this a sleeper, and it's a shoe that I just showed you guys. It's the Union Jordan 1. It just came out. It's a very high quality sneaker. It's a whole different take. That's from the Footscape. I love it personally. When they first showed them, I was all over it. People are kind of like on both sides of the fence when it comes to this shoe.
A lot of hate on that sneaker, and like I still missed.
A lot. I know. I got lucky. Right. If you, I went on Union, and they were just sitting there for like 20 minutes. Nobody knew they came out. So
yeah,
my easiest cop by far. I always miss on every single thing when it comes to sneakers. But I love the shoe a lot. It's comfortable. It's high quality. I feel like people down the line are gonna regret not getting them right now.
Agreed.
It's a beautiful shoe. You know, I think it's super. Yeah, by far, it's my favorite shoe of this year, and it's a biggest sleeper of this year, in my opinion.
I gotta add this in because it goes back to when we dropped Horror Pack and at least the marketing going into it, and how many people in the comments were like, "Oh, this year sucks. They should have just done the old ones." And then what happened? Oh, they all still stole out. So sorry.
All right, so that's the biggest sleeper sneaker. What is the best sneaker collab of 2023 so far, in your opinion?
That's a good question, but I would say the collaboration with J Tips and Saucony.
Ooh.
I mean, it got the award. So.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer, man. You know, I don't have that shoe. I missed out on it, unfortunately. I tried.
Oh shit!
But it's a good shoe. You know, when J Tips was out here, I actually did the campaign shoe for his collection before the Supermart thing.
Yeah.
So I was with him, hung out, talked to him about the shoe that he was releasing, touched on all that stuff. So hearing his side of things, seeing the rollout of it, you know, his story side telling things, everybody loving the shoe. Him already working on a second version, like dude killed it this year. And it's a brand you don't hear of too much. You would have assumed it was Nike, New Balance, or Jordan. Nah, J Tips, that's the guy.
Love that.
I got one of his too.
Oh hell yeah!
Hey.
The proper New York team, right, Bree?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, that's a sick hat, by the way, too. The Subway Series, I love that patch.
That was a good one.
That's a good patch.
Yeah.
And especially for his perspective, as far as doing clothing, then doing hats, and now doing shoes and stuff, and his ability to work with colors in the way that he does. Now, I still feel like the third version of hats that he put out was relatively misunderstood, or maybe we just made too many. I don't know. But they were still good. I mean, even with all the patches, the forever and stuff like that. But then him coming back and doing what he did for Supermart.
Dude, it's sick, man. Like, they're random bright colors, but they make sense once they're placed together. You know, it's stuff that I don't know if I could come up with, but he does a good job, man. He's great.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Good with color.
Northside Hoodlum wants more Raiders hats. So you're gonna get more Raiders hats, son. I feel like this is a good transition point because we're talking about shoes and talking about hats. And, you know, something Hat Club has done in the past numerous times has done colorways, you know, based on shoes that have dropped, but never like any specific model. Oh God, sorry. I was like, I didn't do anything, but really Austin just did that. And then here we are, in which case the campaign that you helped work on, the Staple collection, the Jeff Staple hats collection more specifically. For those of you guys who don't know, this is going to be 4 styles that are dropping this Saturday, 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. The last one I show off is going to be one that's dropping online. Unfortunately, for a lot of you, the New York Yankees and New York Mets are going to be NoHo exclusive only, but they are not dropping this weekend. We will discuss the later drop date for that once we get into November. But first, the only minor league addition to this collection, the Springfield Cardinals. So charcoal gray crown, infrared top and bottom. Of course, the Jeff Staple classic pigeon bird on the side. Rays Batterman logo on the back of this one, just because it's minor league. But I really like the addition of the Rays Staple print on the each under visor, black sweatband for all of these. And, oh, one detail I forgot. Made in Bangladesh, of course. Yep. All made in Bangladesh.
Beautiful hat. Beautiful hats. Like, You guys killed it.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, seriously.
It's a good stuff.
The black, infrared, charcoal, dark gray, 30th anniversary muscle bird, Toronto Blue Jays, of course. And all the Major League Baseball ones have the Jeff Staple Pigeon bird on the side or behind, sorry, back, right above the Batterman logo. Excellent addition. Ray's Staple, of course. Infrared underbill on this one, black sweatband, made in Bangladesh.
So I'll give some insider scoop
Please
here.
do.
The original design with the Staple Pigeon right above the Batterman. Originally, what we were going to do was have the Staple Pigeon either sitting on the bat or sitting on the bird or sitting on the shoulder of the Batterman, and that got denied hard
because of the two front panel stitching. Yeah.
Damn.
So,
I mean, I'm surprised they allowed this.
Yeah, me too. That was a compromise that we came up with. So
hey, it's a good one.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows, quick fingers on this one. Very quick fingers on this one. Yeah, stock is not super heavy.
And then, of course, the one that Vick Almighty is wearing right here, the old school, my favorite St. Louis Cardinals logo, the swinging bird. But this one is the 1956 style as opposed to the 1967 one that we typically use. So it looks a little bit. Oh God, damn it! Hey, you want to take over from here, Vic? Since you actually got a working camera.
Let's swap Vic. Let's make him the big one.
I'll see what I can do, Ben. All right, so we got this 1957 Cardinals hat. All right, so this hat is actually gorgeous, man. So I'll start off with the outside before we get into the inside part. But like Ben said, 1957 Cardinals bird. This thing is gorgeous. Cream upper hat. It's kind of a little bit blown out. Green on top. Like he was saying, you got the pigeon on the back, right above that logo. That's an awesome touch, man. I was so hyped when I saw that. And then got the staples on the bottom, the raised print. Dude, and
the interior print on that one too.
Dude,
yeah, that's sick.
And like the details scream on this one. You know, it's a good quality hat. It fits good. The logo's complete bypass this one. The side patch, 100th anniversary. You guys, again, I don't mean to like just kiss a bunch of ass, but you guys really killed it on this collection. Dude. The hat that I'm wearing is dope. The thing is too, like I viewed all the entire collection. It wasn't an easy choice, you know. It wasn't an easy choice just picking one of the entire collection. Like the Blue Jays hat is freaking sick. The Mets hat that comes out later on is freaking sick. Like, damn it!
It was a tough pick for me too. Like, it took every ounce of me not to pick up the app exclusive, but like I don't have an affinity for the Cardinals. So like I live in Baltimore, so I wanted to pick up the Orioles, and then the Mets are my team, so I was like, I got to go with the Mets too. So I picked up 2, just couldn't pull the trigger on 3, but yeah, it was pretty sick.
One question: do they all come with the Staples black and infrared hat box?
No, that's exclusive to you, bud.
Dude, I'm gonna show you.
You're fancy.
You're in a rare class.
Yeah, so this is something, guys. I'm gonna show off real quick something that you guys can't get.
Whoa!
Love that.
Hat Club bird. Hat Club over here. What's really cool though is I like the paper a lot. You know, the paper is the exact same thing as the inside of the hat. Dude, it's all about the details for me. You know, when I opened up this box and I saw the packaging, you know, the little note. Where's the note?
Hell yeah.
On there and stuff. And opening up and seeing the hat, like best, sickest hat unboxing by far, dude.
Love that. And you did a killer job unboxing it on your video too. So
yeah, I appreciate that though. But I'm gonna have to give credit to Miguel. Miguel's the guy with the vision.
Love that. Love that.
Dude, yeah. I gotta compliment you on the fact that you did a fantastic job going through hat detailing and showing off everything and talking about it in my absence of my terrible camera. To which case, let me get through next week. So we'll hit that 1 year mark for Twitch, and then you can take over the show in my place.
Not for me to retire Rejuvenator anyway. It's been a good run.
Oh yeah. Love that.
But I'll give everybody a heads up in regard to if you're in the New York community, Stop by NoHo on Saturday. We will have the everything except for the app exclusive. So the Orioles, the Blue Jays, and the Springfield Cardinals available. Small size run for there. So
yep. And you never know who's going to show up at NoHo. You never know who's going to show up at NoHo. Might be advantageous to bring a Sharpie.
In Arizona, man. Fuck.
I know, right?
That's what's up, though. That's cool. For you guys in New York, you better make it out.
Michael Jordan.
And you know what? Why not?
Yep, nailed it. Michael Jordan confirmed. Yeah.
No, Vic, dude, seriously, it's been an absolute blast having you here. Love the energy you bring to this. Love the passion you have for what you do. But of course, the last question we got to throw at you tomorrow. Game 1 of the World Series, Arizona Diamondbacks, Texas Rangers. Who you got? How many games, etc.
Oh,
Snakes alive, baby.
A sweep? Are you going to do a sweep?
I don't know. I'm not going to get too confident. You know, one of those things people start saying, you know, start throwing up that far. But nah, Diamondbacks are for sure. I'm confident, man. I'm hoping we can take the game, the World Series. It's going to be fun. I hate getting cocky and shit. It's going to be a good World Series. Good luck to the Texas, was it Rangers or something that's playing? Yeah. But it's going to be dope, man. Again, it takes me back to 2001. I was around 8 years old when the first World Series happened. The only other World Series that happened in Arizona. I remember seeing my dad's reaction, you know, when we took it all, you know, against the Yankees. And I love his reaction. He kept on talking about loving seeing the players and from the Yankees cry and stuff. And I'm like looking back on it, I'm like, damn, dude, like 2001 was a rough year for New York. You know, I'm sure there was
that's
more
true.
reason than just losing that World Series.
Yeah.
So looking back on it 22 years later, I'm like, it's bittersweet that we took that World Series. If there was any year that Yankees should have won or should have taken the gold, should have probably been that year, you know?
Yeah.
But that Diamondbacks team was legendary. You got Randy Johnson, Kurt Schilling, you know, Luis Gonzalez, Tony Womack was my dude back then. Like,
hell yeah,
dudes, man. Like, I loved growing up. That's kind of what got me really into like sports in general. You know, I'm not the biggest baseball guy today. Basketball for me, but that World Series 2001, just enjoying it with my dad, going to random games and stuff, and just seeing the energy from the city, seeing his reaction to the TV, and just only reason I hated at the time I hated the Yankees just because of my dad. Years later, dude, I love the freaking Yankees. I love the hat. I love
Nick,
what Derek
I was
Jeter.
loving you up until this point.
And what really got me to really like the Yankees was watching Derek Jeter's documentary. You know,
yeah, it's true.
It's a good documentary. Just seeing the captain and you know his entire story, like that's the only reason why I kind of became a Yankees fan.
Mm-hmm.
But
hell yeah, love that.
I can mildly respect that.
I also want to take a moment too to drop a link in chat. So something that I promised Space Hippie last week. So Space Hippie, if you're not familiar, who is a longtime viewer of ours, super active in the community out of LA. He's a teacher, but he's looking for some help with getting some of his equipment for the classroom. So we're going to drop a GoFundMe in the chat for him. And if you're able to contribute anything, greatly appreciated. I come from a family of educators, and I know that teachers spend their own dollars towards their classroom. So I know how difficult it is. So also Space Hippie, thank you for what you do, but we're going to drop that in chat too. So if anybody has the opportunity or is blessed enough to be able to donate, we would greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a great cause. Shout out to Space Hippie.
Hell yeah.
Well, it's got second graders. Love second graders.
Hell yeah. Well, awesome. Well, Vic, it was amazing hanging out with you, man. Like, we definitely got to do this again. Maybe we'll have you on as a more frequent guest. I would love to have you on.
Dude, so I'm open to you guys whenever you guys want anything. You guys are cool in my books. Benjamin, Bree, Austin, it's been a pleasure.
Dude, looking forward to seeing you again, brother. Hopefully before the year is over, we'll see what happens with that.
I hear there's something coming up.
I heard that too, and I had no idea that it was actually happening. So
yeah, I haven't got the full green light, but I hear there's something coming up, so I'll probably be seeing you soon.
Hell yeah, love that.
All right, guys.
I can't wait, dude.
Thanks, Vic.
You guys are the best. Appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
Vick Almighty.
Great
I
guest.
know we didn't ask.
Great guest.
Where the hell he got his name from?
Oh, that would have been a great question for his interview back.
How I and everything that I wrote down and everything that you sent over is like, oh,
he's still off to the side. We can still bring him back in and,
right,
and have him answer that one.
Still here.
Great question.
Bring it on.
The timing was perfect.
So back to 2011, I was looking for a new Twitter handle. I'm in Blockbuster when it still existed.
Yes.
Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty, my boy. I love that movie growing up. It's still one of my favorite movies. So I put Vick Almighty. It kind of has a ring to it. And this is before shoes and all. So that handle was my IG and Twitter when I started getting into sneaker things, and people just started calling me Vick Almighty more. So it just kind of stuck.
That's amazing. That's incredible.
Dude, I'm so glad you were still around for that one, dude. Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you.
Oh, God, he's great.
I'm glad we got that answer, too.
No, absolutely.
That's awesome.
Last thing we got for you guys, we're just going to briefly touch on this just because the announcement was made. Atlanta, going to be next weekend, Saturday, November 4th, in Atlanta, of course, at Good Times Atlanta. Waffle House. Gonna be doing the food.
Big one. Yeah, big get. Big get. We got Waffle House truck.
That's
only requirement, no fighting. Please. No throwing of the hands and or feet at this event. No.
And or feet.
It should be good. We're gonna go into more detail about it next week as far as showing off the hats. Showing off the shirt. We just wanted to like reiterate the fact that it's happening. But of course, we're gonna go back to the regular time next Wednesday, 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time, and we will have another guest next week. Hold on one sec. Make sure I got the name correctly because in my head it's saying one thing, and I don't want it to come out my mouth and be the wrong last name. So if you guys, NFL player for the Cincinnati Bengals, Devin Harper, I actually met him and interviewed him when we were at SneakerCon Dallas. He was on the Cowboys at that point in time, but now he's on the Bengals, and he'll be in the Bay Area this weekend to beat the living piss out of Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, and the rest of the San Francisco 49ers. So we will have him on this next Wednesday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm totally going to ask the question of like, is there a part of his game plan when the time comes? Because America, who doesn't like Taylor Swift, wants the Bengals to go to the Super Bowl over the Chiefs. It's happening.
I think a lot of America likes Taylor Swift. I think people are just sick of the Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce scenario.
No, I don't like Taylor Swift.
Oh,
there we go.
Damn.
Taylor Swift. So wait, so yeah. So then I'm rooting for who, Ben?
You're going for the Cincinnati Bengals.
Cincinnati Bengals, take it home.
And then also my good buddy is a Bengals fan, so I'm gonna see if I can get possibly a signed hat from the man.
Hey,
yeah.
Oh,
that'll be rad. But yeah, he and I will chat on Monday. I didn't want to because he's got a big game this weekend. I just want to be like, hey, bro, just want to make sure you got my number. I'm going to not bother you until after this big game. Let's reconvene on Monday. And he didn't say anything. So it's like, okay, at least that's been established.
Love it. Love it.
But no, I think that's a good place to wrap up. Thanks again to Vick Almighty. Thank, of course, to Austin and Bree and everybody in the chat. If you guys can ever tell, if I just start laughing randomly, no matter even if whatever our guest is saying or somebody is saying is not funny, the reason I'm laughing is because I'm going through the chat, and so your guys' funny comments always put a smile on my face, and so I appreciate that.
Awesome, appreciate it, you guys. Yeah, great guest. Thank you, Vic.
Yeah, Vic.
Thank you, Bree. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah,
I think it was an awesome show.
No, Aaron Hefo, so that was the other part of this. We only went through Saturday because of the fact that the November drop calendar, which also includes the last couple of days of October, that is included in November. That got finalized yesterday. So the only hats that got shipped to me in time were the staple hats. So the next collection we're going to be dropping is going to be Thursday of next week. So the timing on that kind of worked out pretty well. So it's going to be variety packs, I believe, on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And but yeah, Wednesday we'll be back for the next episode of Recap, and we'll be able to go over the following week of hats after that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We'll be back.
We'll be back like very quickly after I change my shirt and go to the bathroom, because we're going to try and live stream the rest of this Buccaneers Bills game.
Yes, we're going to. So Ben and I are going to try and do a watch party. Bree, you're welcome to hang out. I'm sure you could care less about watching the Bills versus Bucs, but we're going to try and do a little watch party here for the Bills versus Bucs, because it is streaming on Amazon Prime, and with their connection with Twitch, I think we're able to stream it. So yeah, we're going to give it a shot. If you want to hang out.
And at the moment, your Bills are up 10-3, but they were up 10-0, so they were definitely covering the spread a little bit ago. So
damn,
we'll see what happens.
Now, I wonder if I should throw on. Oh, I think I'm going to throw on Flutie Flakes.
I got Eric Durrett, on the bed, ready to go. Not the actual person, but the jersey. Sorry. Whoa.
That statement could have gone out of context real quick.
No, that was hilarious.
Earl Hito says it's 10-10 now, but it hasn't updated on Google, so I have no idea if you're lying or not.
Uh-oh.
I mean, that's good as a Bucs fan, but as far as my pick, shit.
All right, guys. Well, we're gonna end the stream, and then we're gonna restart it, so that way we know for our video editors, so it makes it for point of ease for us. So, and also for our YouTube upload as well, because we definitely cannot upload the entire Bills game to YouTube. So
yeah, it's 10-10. God damn it! I knew it should be Buccaneers plus 8.5.
I knew this was going to be a tight game, man. I knew this was going to be a tight game. But
all right. See you guys in a little bit. Bree, take care.
Thanks,
and
guys.
Congratulations again. Keep doing amazing things.
Thank you.
Killed it. You killed it.
See you guys.
See you, Bree.
Bye, guys.